I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your dumpster fire for the week of March 1st to March 6th. I nailed it.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.
Are we ready?
Unfortunately.
We're literally never ready.
Just dumpster fire is something that happens to us.
Dumpster fire is ready for us. We are never ready for it.
It just overtakes
like a real
us.
fire.
Mm-hmm. It's out of our control, really. It's like we started as like a controlled burn, and then it burns down like half of it for us.
It's like a wildfire.
Yeah.
Halfway through, we usually go off the rails.
Subscribe to Phetasy.com to get the entire unedited version of this show, mostly unedited. Maggie takes out the worst of the worst. But do this, and I'm saying this now because you might not make it to the end of this, but if you want to see the process in which we spend 50 minutes yelling at the dogs and another 30 making jokes that usually don't make it, I suggest you subscribe to Phetasy.com. And also, if you want to support this amazing independent thinking film we have here. Look, we want to take this shit on the road. We're not going to be able to take it to the next level until some of you commies start ponying up.
Troll in exile.
We can't quit him.
Trump wins CPAC straw poll on the 2024 presidential primary with 55% support.
I, for one, welcome our overlord's return. How else do they think we're going to keep this dumpster fire going? With all this normalcy and just boringness and policies that are terrifying getting passed in the quiet lull of a senile old man.
I can't do it. I can't do it again.
Maggie had a nervous breakdown in the writer's room last night. She was like, I can't do it. I can't do this again.
Bridget and I are like, yes, please,
Sam and
4
I were
more
like,
years.
Bring it on. 4 more years.
Ready, Trump.
It's just the thought of the fact that we have to spend 4 years hearing about it and then another 4 years possibly of him in charge. I'm like, we should have just given him the 8 years.
Yeah, no one ever listens to me. That's what I said. Give him the 8 years, and then we won't have to worry about him running again. Let's get this shit over with. Now it's going to be 4 more years again. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the news ratings, it's not good.
They miss their bread and butter.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, let's make noise about him possibly running again for 4 years.
They keep trying to make somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene a thing. You know, you'll see them trying to make her the next literally Hitler, but she's a freshman representative. She has no power. They can't make her into a thing. No one will have the sway and power that Honorable His Highness Lord and Savior Trump had.
No, Trump becoming president was like striking gold for the media.
Really, they're getting 12 more years talking about him.
They'll be talking about him for 2 more decades.
Yeah.
What a time. What a time.
I'm still shocked that they disappeared, the tech companies disappeared Trump like a freaking mob. It was like a mob hit on a virtual mob hit on our president. I still think that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Even when I think about it, I'm like, they just disappeared him, man, like overnight.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And now no one's even talking about it anymore.
No one seems to, because they could justify it. But that's the problem with all of these things, is that you can find some way to justify and rationalize it until it's happening to you.
Uh-huh.
And then you just get disappeared. It was like a million voices were silenced.
We're going to get disappeared
Control,
one day.
Alt, delete.
Yeah. I feel like there's a disturbance in the force. Like one person who is the equivalent of 10 million voices was silenced. Yeah, where does all the energy go, though?
Underground.
Yep. Even scarier. Great job, everyone. Good work. Somebody told me about the Trump fantasy situation.
Trump runs for Congress in Florida and wins in 2022. Republicans get the majority, become speaker, impeach and remove Biden and Harris, become president, and run again in 2024.
Is this like QAnon? It has to be. I feel like they still, that's what's so funny is QAnon still thinks there's going to be some like overtake of the government, and they really are just, they're really just hanging in there with this belief. And somebody today was showing me BlueAnon, which is the conspiracy on the left that believes that there's going to be insurrection on the Capitol, and it's why there's still gates around the Capitol for whatever reason. And it's crazy. It's all on lockdown still. I mean, it's nuts. No one's talking about any of this.
No.
Oh, wasn't it also like March 4th, Pelosi said that there was internet chatter, so they needed to protect the Capitol, but nothing happened?
They're going to have that shit on lockdown forever. It's so sad.
I think Q is just going to keep rolling back the date. And
BlueAnon is going to keep on buying into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how we march silently into martial law.
California. Gavin Newsom wants Californians to wear 2 masks when they go out. Meanwhile, Texas opens up 100% with a no mask mandate.
Yeah, this was his way of doubling down. We get you, Gavin. Doubling down with 2 masks. He's like, he actually said that. We are going to double down.
We are encouraging people basically to double down on mask wearing. What I would argue is bad information coming from at least 4 states in this country.
This fucking guy, I swear, he is the biggest clown excuse for a leader I have ever seen in my entire life. And the fact that anybody is applauding this guy and thinks what he's doing is great. He's like, we're going to fight back against Texas by forcing everyone in our society to wear 2 masks. It's like, do you want more people to move to Texas? I definitely feel like he has money in real estate in Texas.
Ah,
I'm like convinced of
that's
this.
a conspiracy theory I'll get behind.
This is my conspiracy theory, is that Gavin Newsom is highly invested in Texas real estate and development. We're going to find this out.
His companies.
Yeah. The sad thing is Californians have been so brainwashed and locked down.
Has.
But Californians in particular, they've been locked up for so long, they actually will do this and defend it.
I've seen tons of people out wearing double masks.
Fucking losers.
And then Biden called Texas mask mandate Neanderthal thinking.
I mean, conservatives cried about this and they were like, oh my God, it's the new deplorables. And there's so many good jokes about it. The best one I've seen is the parody of the old Geico commercial where the Neanderthal stops in front of the billboard. And he's like... So the internet is already doing its thing. I just hope I'm living in Texas when it secedes from the United States, because this is happening. And California will probably secede because they're so worried about all the states that are opening up, and they can't possibly handle the idea of freedom. The problem I have is that it's always minimizing language. Anybody who doesn't agree with me is a moron, which, I can kind of understand that.
We understand the appeal of calling people morons.
Anyone who doesn't follow what I need to make you do is a moron.
Moron. All right. And then we have LAUSD and Microsoft team up for the Daily COVID Pass, an app that tracks students, parents, and visitors, giving them COVID test results and generates a barcode that will allow them to be scanned onto school campuses.
I mean, California is a dystopian nightmare. I don't have children, and if I did, I would be out of here.
Mom, I'm scared about going back to school. I don't want to get sick, and I don't want to get you and Dad sick.
Now, your school, with the help of Microsoft Corporation, introducing Daily Pass.
It's just funny, the whistling and the creepy voice and the making the kids afraid. That was like a child written by an adult who's woke and thinks that these children are like, Mom, I want to go back to school, but I'm really afraid, and I'm afraid it's going to give you the virus. Like, no child is saying this.
They're
like,
begging to go back to school.
Or they're
like, please.
Yeah, or they're like, Mom, give me my new device. I need a new iPad. Felix Sulla on Twitter had a great joke. Microsoft is going to help successfully fight a virus. That will be a first. Hey, idiots, these kids are already terrified of school shooters and climate change and their own whiteness, even if they're not white. They're being indoctrinated to fear other things. And now you're adding COVID? This seems like pretty low on their list of fears. They already feel like climate change is going to murder them. I just was laughing at the idea that like some school shooter was going to have to get his daily pass that day. That's the kind of dark humor. That's like automatically the dark humor in my brain. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious and dark.
Just answer a few simple health questions every day, and like magic, your entrance ticket appears.
Some kid's gonna like check all those little boxes and then load up and head into school.
Oh, that's dark.
They should just add a "Do you feel mentally stable?"
Yeah,
category.
why don't they add
have
that?
a cough? Come on, f***ing Bill Gates.
Come on, Bill Gates. Do you feel like murdering a bunch of your classmates? That should be an extra one they have to check.
All right. We've got conspiracy theories we can get behind. Microsoft patent describes tracking brain activity to mine cryptocurrency. This one's Sam's.
Yeah. The story is a year old. I was looking at the story and it's a year old, and Sam added it to the board trying to sneak it in. Because she needs some chum for her conspiracy theory fan base.
Excuse me, we are believers, not a fan base.
Oh, Lord.
Sammy flaps him full of conspiracy theory corner.
Well, because I went down a rabbit hole
I'm shocked.
where Bill Gates is now patenting food seeds. And he's buying like 235,000 acres of land.
Yes, Russell Brand had a video on this.
Says the woman who never watched his video.
I just saw the title.
Okay. So he's buying out all the farmland. He's pushing vaccines. He's patenting food seeds. And then I start looking up, and then I come down this article in PC Magazine, and it says, in order to access this validation data, the human user would need to have a sensor attached to or installed in their body.
Sam's been spending a lot of
Microchips.
time on Telegram. Where'd you stumble on this on Telegram, Sam?
I feel like other people are talking about that too. Like Elon Musk wants to install sensors in your body. Like a lot of these guys are talking about
Well,
that.
that's what's funny. There was that great meme that was like, Bill Gates wants to microchip me. And then it was like Elon Musk. And they're like, yeah, whatever. I'll totally put that chip in my brain.
But then
Same people.
they cover it up because then they're saying, oh, but if you do this, then it allows companies to monitor your brain activity and then pay you in cryptocurrency for performing specific tasks. All Agenda 2030, cryptocurrency, digital ID, COVID passports, and now this.
Did you stumble on this on Telegram, your favorite place, Sam?
Baby.
Remember when I was on Telegram a lot and I was getting super red pilled?
That's right. You were like really red pilled at one point.
It was almost as bad as when I was reading the Breitbart autobiography.
Oh, no.
And then everyone was like, are you just crushing red pills up and snorting them? What is your problem?
That's right. You kept going around quoting Breitbart. I was like, Bridget, stop quoting Breitbart.
Breitbart was right about everything. Everything.
Don't trust
What am
Bill
I
Gates.
doing here? These lunatics.
Why is a computer guy buying land, patenting food seeds?
Why is he, Sam? What is the long game? I need to
Agenda
know.
2030. I've
But
told
okay,
you.
but
talked
what
about
is
this.
Bill Gates' personal long game in this?
He's going to control everything.
If you had billions of dollars, wouldn't you be buying land and seeds? Like, that's
No.
what I would be doing.
But patenting seeds?
I mean, Monsanto has been doing this shit for like
And
decades.
he's part owner of Monsanto.
Oh my God. We lost
Everything
Sam.
goes back to
She's
Bill
gone.
Gates.
We're moving on to Get
Maggie
Wrecked,
is
China.
censoring me, save me!
Yeah, this is appropriate. Get Wrecked, China. China's stepping in to censor Sam.
Yeah. Maggie's stepping in to lay down the law.
Leave your thoughts in the comments.
China continues to be a pain in the ass.
China makes COVID anal swabs mandatory for foreigners.
We knew this was coming. We are prophets. We are prophets on Dumpster Fire. We are just like the Breitbarts of the new world. I mean, that's one way to keep people out from snooping around about the Wu flu.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, if you come here, that's fine, but we're going to stick something in your butt.
It's
Maybe
basically
they're sticking
And
microchips
what's
in
in
their
that
butt.
cotton swab, huh?
it's probably more effective than closing their borders is being like, yeah, come on in, except you got to get anally swabbed.
Yeah.
People are like, nah, no thanks.
No thanks.
I'll pass.
Think I'll pass on going to China anytime soon.
All the anal kinks are going to be
I-
going to China.
Japan's like, this is psychologically distressing. Yeah, no shit, Japan. That's the point.
Yeah.
That's why they're doing this.
They want to flex the second you enter their country.
They're flexing hard all over the world. No one's paying attention to Hong Kong anymore. They're taking over Hong Kong.
I know.
And there's nothing anyone can do about it. I know. We spend our time talking about the dumbest shit in America. Like somebody was tweeting something the other day. They're like, where are the liberal democracies with Myanmar and Hong Kong? And I was like, I'm sorry. We're talking about Mr. Potato Head and Dr. Seuss. If you don't mind, we have more important things on our plate than helping other people.
It's horrible because it's like everywhere else in the world pays attention to everywhere else in the world except for America.
That's always been true, Sam.
Yeah, that is
That's
true.
Very
American. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very American centric. Anyways,
All right.
make sure you subscribe to us. Anyway, speaking of self-absorbed, please like, subscribe, and comment. Democracy is dying all over the world, but we're holding the line here on Dumpster Fire, saying all the things that we can't say. All the things, saying the things that you can't say, but we can.
Saying the things that China would never let you say.
And we here at Dumpster Fire believe that you should like, subscribe, and comment, and touch my bells and buttons. Get wrecked, China! Ow.
Oh.
That one hurt my head.
All right.
Sprain my eyes!
Sprain my eyes. Nancy Pelosi says we do not say open sesame. We say open Biden.
We just had to post this clip because what the fuck is going on with our leaders? Is she drunk? What is going on with her? She's a crazy person.
We do not say open sesame. We say open Biden. Open Biden. I love it.
They're all so creepy. Everything is so creepy. I hate it. She's third in line to be president.
No.
And she's obviously got dementia or alcoholism or both. But what? I don't even understand. Like, is everyone okay there? I didn't research this full clip, to be fair.
No.
It's like we're getting closer and closer to everybody showing themselves in the Hunger Games.
I feel like maybe there's more to this clip and I just don't know it.
But I feel like she was trying to make a joke that was just a really weird
Stay in
joke
your
that
lane,
didn't
Pelosi.
land. Yeah.
Stupid
Leave
jokes.
the comedy to us.
Obviously, you don't understand the craft of comedy. All right. And then there is a vaccine rap that exists out there in the world.
We can get back to normal. Let me inform you. Let's all get the vaccine.
I don't have anything to say about that other than that's all we need to know. It's just so stupid. Who's that influencing, really? The vaccine rap. Somebody's like, I don't really trust that. I'm not going to get it. Oh, that vaccine rap? Now I'm completely, you've changed my mind.
I'm sure the Grammys will be giving that vaccine rap group a Grammy soon.
I'm sure they will. Along with
Cuomo.
Maybe Cuomo will write a rap about killing the olds. They were old and they needed to go.
So I put them all in a home and ignored them.
So I put them all in a home and ignored the flow. That flow is their bodies out the door. Not my fault.
Wow.
It's time to go.
COVID-19, yo.
That's how I roll. I kill the olds. No one really cares. They were in the homes.
When was the last
Don't pretend
time?
you're sad or mad. You're glad. Because that old man was probably your dad. and you never went to see him, and he was sad.
Aw.
I know. It just got dark.
I just want to hold him.
It just got dark. It was a rap about killing the olds.
Call me Cuomo.
I know how to spin this.
Just lean right into it. Oh, you care about the world and all the globe? You care about climate change? We need to kill the old. They'll be the first to go. That's my vaccine rap. That's my kill the olds rap. Oh, R.I.P. to all the people who died.
We're not laughing at you.
Okay.
Look, it's whistling in the dark, okay? We're whistling in the dark.
Shouting into the void. No one's paying any attention.
God forbid they actually do someday, because man, those clips are going to be really upsetting.
I think that's a target audience.
I
for the
want
last
the
year.
freaks and weirdos.
Okay, moving on to cool science. 100-million-year-old seafloor sediment bacteria have been resuscitated.
This is a proto-molecule. I've been watching too much Expanse. It's like the original molecule that's hundreds of billions of years old and was existing in a society that was destroyed by another society billions of years ago.
Yeah, this is insane. It's 100-million-year-old bacteria, and they gave it food, and it came back to life. So it was basically just in a state of stasis for 100 million years.
Have we learned nothing from Michael Crichton?
And basically,
Lamentations! I don't even know what that means.
I think it's appropriate there. The dinosaur people have their museums filled with bones and teeth and tracks. The plant people have their petrified forests and fossil fronds, but the microbe people have something even better. Our dinosaurs aren't dead.
Oh, sounds like the microbiologists have a little bit of an inferiority complex. Because they're so small. See what I did there? If you unsubscribe right now, I don't blame you. But I actually recommend you touch our bells and buttons. Like, subscribe, and comment.
Moving on, a cephalopod has passed a cognitive test designed for human children.
Open the schools now before we're answering to the cephalopods. How smart do they have to be before they can run for Congress? I feel like it's just 2 more cognitive tests. Next cognitive test will be the person, man, camera, woman,
TV.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, right. It'll be like, I am not a robot.
It'll be like, exactly. Those are the
I am a
2.
cephalopod.
Those are two more tests the cephalopod needs to pass.
All right, moving on to everything is racist. Amazon tweaks app icon after comparisons made to Hitler.
I mean, if you didn't see Hitler in this, obviously you are a Nazi. How could you not see Hitler in this very simple design? I don't know. I feel like when all you have is a hammer, everything is literally Hitler. It's just the only way you view the world.
Uh-huh.
And now that they don't have Trump to be like, everyone's a Nazi, now it's just everything, like looking through the world through that lens of everything is white supremacist or Nazi or Hitler. And you're gonna find it.
Uh-huh.
For instance, I think we need to cancel the Nike symbol because it looks like a Sieg Heil. What is it? Sieg Heil.
When they're heiling Hitler, you don't want to do that on camera.
I'm not doing it. I won't do it. It looks like the Nazi salute.
Yeah, you pointed that out, and I was like, I can see it. Initially, I didn't want to cancel the swoosh, but
Cancel swoosh. Dumpster fire, go out in the world and start this. We want to start just jokingly trying to cancel. We really basically want to see if we can jokingly get some kind of brand to change their logo. Because even in this story, it was like 5 people who saw the Hitler mustache in the logo on Twitter. So I feel like if a bunch of Dumpster Fire fans go out and say, the Nike symbol is literally somebody doing a
Sieg Heil or
yeah.
whatever. The Hitler salute. We don't know what it's called.
That's probably
That's
a good thing. So yes, go out there, hashtag cancel swoosh, get out there and start talking about how it is literally Hitler.
We want to see if we can make this happen.
We also want to get some Dumpster Fire Nikes.
Although that logo is worth like
$26 billion.
Yeah, so I don't think that they're going to pay attention to.
How much do you think the Amazon was worth?
Yeah, but that's the launch of a new like symbol for their app. It's not an old established brand that's been there for ever.
Yeah.
Because they still have the smiley face arrow.
Right.
Yeah.
They just tweaked the little blue mustache up top.
It's so dumb. Everything is so dumb. But in keeping with that, we would like to cancel swoosh. Cancel swoosh.
All right, and then we've got AOC slams NYPD's spot dog as racist.
Okay, the funniest thing about this is just last week on Dumpster Fire, we covered a story about how Boston Dynamics was so offended that anyone would ever consider that their robot dogs would be used as weapons. And then this week, we find out about DigiDog, who's apparently racist because everything is racist, but more importantly, it's designed by Boston Dynamics.
Right. To
For
aid
police
police forces.
For the police. Yeah. And we were saying, I bet they have a Department of Defense contract. They're like, oh, no, that's just Spot that's not designed to kill. Our murder dog is DigiDog. That's the dog we use for killing. I feel like AOC didn't read past the headline on this story, though, which AOC, we get it. We very rarely do here on Dumpster Fire. But we actually did on this one. And it turns out that dog went into a hostage situation where 2 men had been tied up and tortured with like
a curling iron.
Yeah, it was bad.
There are like 2 other hostage situations in the Bronx.
Yeah, maybe get your fucking district together, AOC, and we won't need these murder dogs. Also, probably not the hill you want to die on is this dog that interrupted a hostage situation as the racist dog. Maybe read past the headline next time. Here's a tip we've learned.
Then we have
the racist babies.
Oh, those damn racist babies. They just won't stop.
Racist babies need to be stopped.
The Arizona Department of Education has created an equity toolkit claiming that babies show the first signs of racism at 3 months old and that white children remain strongly biased in favor of whiteness by age 5.
Oh my God. They want control of your child from the minute it is born. This is they're just trying to justify indoctrinating babies, basically. These fucking racist babies need to be stopped. It's a weird argument too. You read the whole full art like study and all the writing, and it's basically saying all babies are kind of preconditioned to be attracted to whatever their ethnicity is. It's like deeply biological and tribal in our genes of survival for thousands and millions of years, but only white babies are the racist ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
Only white babies can. It's not enough for your infant to be not racist. Your infant needs to be actively anti-racist.
They need to be actively checking their white privilege from the moment they
That
leave the womb.
racist baby needs to check its fucking privilege. It's so dumb. These babies need to be destroyed with the olds.
Get rid of the racist babies.
It's seriously
The
like,
poor
this is how
orphan.
genocide starts.
This is where we are. Get rid of the olds and the racist babies and keep everyone else under control with barcode scans and anal probes.
Kill the
I
poor.
sound like Sam.
Maggie's on Agenda 2030 with me. We got Maggie. We got Maggie.
This is just going to be a show about how 3 reasonable women go down.
Became radicalized.
But radicalized in like 12 different directions.
We started off so innocently.
All right, moving on to 6 Dr. Seuss books won't be published for racist images.
Yeah, this was another situation where there's some nuance. You know, I don't care that Dr. Seuss Enterprises made the decision to pull those books. I'm sure it was a financial decision. There were racist images that Dr. Seuss himself was regretting when he was older. I don't think it's a big deal that they would want to. They can do whatever they want with these books. It's not crazy for an estate to make this decision. I can understand why you wouldn't want to be associated with that, especially if he has like 60 books and this is like 1/10 of them.
Right. They were all books I'd never even heard of, too.
So I get it until you start reading that it's a panel of people who discuss this, and they had to look at this study, and the study is all just critical theory, blah, blah, blah. And you know that panel is like, you know who the panel is. We all know who the panel is. This is the panel who's going to be deciding whether my Twitter feed is worthy of getting me sent into the gulag or not. Newsflash, it is.
You've already been convicted.
Yeah. And so that's the more insidious aspect of it, is that then you have eBay banning the sale of these 6 books and delisting them, which
From private sellers.
which again, and it's always in the guise of like, well, these were private companies. This is a private company. And as someone who's pretty libertarian, it's more and more like, are they private companies if they have as much power as they have? Because they're monopolies. That's what they are. We're talking about private companies that are monopolies. So we either need to break them up or they can't have as much power as they have, because now there is that insidious chilling effect of like disappearing a president.
Yeah.
I also think banning books is bad. So they say it's not banning the book, and they didn't. They just stopped publishing it. But now eBay is ostensibly banning it by saying that they're not selling it anymore privately.
Right.
And so why don't you let people have discussions about this stuff and use it as an example and put it in context instead of like disappearing everything? Amazon's crazy too, because Amazon will delist books but still sell like Mein Kampf, you know? So where are we drawing the line, and how long will it be selling that book? Probably not very long. The kids won't be able to read or do math because it's all considered racist, but at least they'll be woke. And that is all you need to know.
And now we're premiering a new category. Siri, please take my life.
This is my favorite category. I've been saying this for years. Siri, please take my life. Whenever there's anything that just makes me want to kill myself, any headlines that make me want to take my life.
Q is a genderless voice assistant that is an answer to women being made the default.
I hate everything.
Hi, I'm Q, the world's first genderless voice assistant.
Everything is so dumb.
So dumb.
Hey, you might want to rethink that name. Unless you're trolling Q.
Q.
Like, really? That's the name you went with in the height of all of this?
Seriously.
You're like, we're launching a new genderless, faceless, nameless entity called Q. Oh, okay. And are we allowed to call Q it since it's technically not a person, or is that not...
That's my
kosher?
question. I don't know.
'Tis without gender.
It's also without personhood.
An it assistant.
So I'm sure someone will get offended by that statement and be like, it's a person? You
It's
can't
robotism,
distance."
speciesism, or whatever.
Robot,
PETA's
yeah.
on it.
Robot rights.
Robot lives matter. Whose side do you think that's going to be? Is that going to be a right wing or left wing who are like robot lives matter? Or it'll be just like the right wing will be like
That's left.
all for the cop dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll be like
And
robot,
the left wings all for the
like
genderless
sex slaves.
voice assistant.
Yeah. Everything is so dumb. Everything is so dumb. Lamentation.
Lamentation
Of a dumb culture. We have so much. We have AC. We have a place where we can easily pee. And this is the stuff that we're fighting about. Lamentation.
Lamentation.
We really haven't been leaning into our musical enough lately, I don't think.
All right. I like the twist on lamentations at the end there. Lamentations.
Lamentations.
Okay. and
Everything is so dumb.
then we have a deep fake of Tom Cruise goes viral. Oh, this was so deeply disturbing.
I mean, it's all the real.
I'm convinced that Tom Cruise is just a deep fake that was manufactured in a Scientology lab. Like, he's been a deep fake all along. It explains the jumping on the couch in Oprah.
Have you ever felt this way?
Seems like something a deep fake would do. Also explains the fact that he can do all of his stunts.
It doesn't seem to age.
And doesn't seem to age. And is creepily kind of non-human.
No.
Tom Cruise is a deep fake all along, people. Get behind this conspiracy theory.
And then Yasher had a great tweet that even makes it even creepier. He was like, here's the crazy thing about the Tom Cruise deepfake. This isn't even a super high quality deepfake. That's what's disturbing.
Yeah,
about
it's kind of ratchet. If I get off, it's going to be so hard to determine who did it. It's going to be like, was it Scientology? Was it China? Was it the Department of Defense for
Elon
being onto
Musk?
them? Was it Elon Musk?
Bill Gates?
Yeah, probably Bill Gates.
Probably Bill Gates.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be China, personally.
Yeah, China's high on the list. Although I think Scientology has more access to me.
Oh, that's true. They're watching us right now.
They're like, she got too close. She's on to something.
All right. And then we have proof we're not living in a simulation.
That's what this was for me. Because the whole launch of the Elon Musk, what was it, the SN10 or something? Everybody tags me and all this stuff, which I love, by the way, Dumpster Fire fans. Please keep doing it. They're like, Bridget, your nemesis is launching rocket. I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch it. So I watched it live and it was amazing. It like launched up and then I've been watching tons of The Expanse, and this is how they land the rockets in The Expanse. And it did this amazing, stuck the landing, but talk about breaking your ankle on the dismount. This was like sticking the landing and then walking away and tripping and then breaking your ankle just randomly.
Breaking your ankle
8 minutes later.
off the podium after you won the gold medal.
The award.
Because that would never happen in a simulation. It just seemed, it was so funny. It was just like everyone was kind of distracted. They were like, that was amazing. Did you see that? And then it like blew up and it was flattened like a pancake. Just flat.
Uh-huh.
And if you like Elon Musk, you're going to love me. Like, subscribe.
And if you hate Elon Musk, you're going to love Bridget too.
No, they
I
won't.
just love how you're saying, people are tweeting at you and they're like, Bridget, your nemesis is launching a rocket. I'm like, is this James Bond? Like, your nemesis is launching a rocket.
And like he even has any idea who I am. It's just the sad, lonely little lady in a garage.
Dumpster diving.
What's next? In the dumpster. That was me throwing garbage.
A lot of pulling out.
Yeah. I was finding a lot that I liked in that dumpster dive.
Alec Baldwin and his wife, Hilaria, are offering no further explanation about the birth of child number 6, just 6 months after the birth of their 5th child.
The best thing about this is that they post pictures about this, and then Alec Baldwin got mad at somebody who tweeted this lying thing, was like, hey, if this happened, why don't you just say it? If you had an affair with a mistress, why don't you just admit it? If you don't want us to ask any questions, why are you constantly posting these clickbait pictures? And Alec Baldwin was like, shut the fuck up and mind your own business, which I find completely insane. That would be me like showing up, you guys come to the set and I'm like, hey guys, guess what? And you're like, what, Bridget? I'm like, shut the fuck up and mind your own business. It's crazy.
I know.
They're fucking crazy people.
I know.
Oh, boy.
There's no explanation for this random baby that shows up. And that
I'm
they're
sure
like,
it was a
hey,
surrogate.
It's our baby.
Yeah.
But they said they were done having children after their 5th one. And then, it's just
I don't
very
understand
strange.
any of it. I also think it's hilarious that their 5th child or whatever, with the baby before this baby, was named Eduardo. Because of her Spanish roots.
Her faux Spanish roots.
Yeah.
Dumpster Fire broke that story.
She spent a few summers in Spain.
Dumpster Fire did some in-depth uncovering.
Hey, well, guess what, guys?
Investigative journalist.
Shut the fuck up and mind your own business.
Breaking Bridget. Twitch was pandering to, as many people as possible, and they managed to piss everyone off. They released a statement saying, while we originally wanted to use a word that acknowledges the shortcoming of gender binary language, after hearing directly from you, including members of the LGBTQIA plus community on Twitch, we will be using the spelling women moving forward.
Well, because they used women XM or whatever in
women,
a tweet.
women X.
Yeah, we didn't really mention what they actually did.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was for Women's History Month, right?
Yeah, it's Women's History Month.
Okay. Yeah.
So we're going to erase all the women. The left doesn't give a shit about women anymore. It's so funny. They released this tweet that had women XM and they were trying to be inclusive. And then the right came after Twitch for pandering to the woke. And then the left got mad and said that it was transphobic because they were like, trans women are women. And if you use another word for women, that implies that trans women aren't women. And so you're actually being transphobic by using women XM. A word you can't even fucking pronounce.
Right. How the hell is that word even supposed to be pronounced?
I just like that they're like, Happy Women's Day. We're going to now take part in erasing women. It's just so stupid. It's all that, again, this is the stuff we're fighting about and nitpicking and nut picking and go. I don't understand. I understand that gender is fluid. I understand you can call yourself whatever you want, and I will respect your pronouns and whatever you want to be called. But stop making me talk about this stupid shit all the time.
No.
Like, I don't care. Just stop making me talk about it. I don't care. Stop. Lamentation. This should be renamed Lamentations of a Flame Princess. Dumpster fire. It's basically what dumpster fire is. So far, we've made a rap about killing the olds and a song about how sad and stupid our culture is. So I guess that's all we have for you this week. Now we will cleanse your palate with some lovely Internet is Glorious clips.
Okay.
Call it Paul. Come on.
All right, Phetasy News.
I had Ayan Hirsi Ali on the podcast this week. It was amazing. Just knowing that she exists in the world, it gives me strength when I feel like, why am I talking or doing any of this? Mm-hmm. Even though it's really fun, sometimes it's really just not, it's not worth the
pylons you get.
400,000 pylons, yeah. Lamentation. I'm a victim now. Look at me. Look at me. I'm the victim now.
Oh, boy.
So check out Walk-Ins Welcome if you haven't already. Please subscribe to that as well and share it with your friends. It's a little bit more serious in tone sometimes. Sometimes it's just as off the rails as dumpster fire, depending on the guest. We have new merch. We have a new Politically Homeless t-shirt, which I'm obsessed with and will probably be wearing as soon as it arrives. And we also have a limited edition dumpster fire t-shirt. We're only selling 100 of these. We've sold a bunch to our subscribers because we give merch discounts to our subscribers. Another reason to subscribe to Phetasy.com. And this is the rock and roll Lamentations of the Flame Princess punk rock version of our design that we are not selling more than 100 of. So get on that while you can and support your favorite show on YouTube. And your favorite old ladies on YouTube. Go to BridgetPhetasy.com for all the merch. We have tons. Also, You're Not Woke, You're Annoying, which will become more and more in handy as time goes on until it gets banned. Oh, yeah. Buy that one before it gets banned from Shopify because I'm sure that's only a matter of time. For real.
Yeah.
Thank you, Better Phetasy, for the research and the jokes. Follow Better Phetasy on Twitter. Thank you to Zen Pro Audio for the juicy mic. For all of your audio needs, go to Zen Pro Audio. Thank you for your service support. Thank you to our sponsor, Lamentations of the Flame Princess, LOTFP. Go to LOTFP and use the code Phetasy. If you spend over 25 euros, you'll get a free book, which is a great deal. It's a fun role-playing game. Thank you to Maggie, China.
Thank you, Bridget.
Thank you to Sammy Flaps and Folds. Follow Sammy Flaps and Folds on Twitter and Instagram. She's hilarious. And thank you, audience, for hanging in there with us. It's another week of insanity, and it's only getting crazier. This has been your Dumpster Fire for the week of March 1st to March 6th. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich. Lamentations. Lamentations.